Hello friends, you like my videos, don't you? Your exams are not over, are they? You do not watch TV during exams, do you? Did you notice the tiny little questions, don't you, are they, and do you at the end of each of these sentences? These are nothing but question tags. And in this video, we will decode the question tags in detail. We will understand what are question tags, why they are used, and how to form them with a 6-step formula. So without further ado, let's get started. What is a question tag? A question tag, also known as a tag question, is a grammatical structure used to convert a statement into a question. A question tag adds a short phrase at the end of the statement to get a response from the listener. Suppose you and your friend are having a conversation. You are sure that your friend likes to play cricket, but you want to confirm from him. How will you confirm it? One way is you will directly ask a question, "Do you like cricket?" and wait for the response. The other way is you make a statement and then convert it into a question in this way. "You like cricket, don't you?" Now, there is a high chance that your friend will respond positively like this, "Yes, I do." So, this tiny question, "don't you," is a question tag. It is formed by auxiliary verb and pronoun. Now, you might be wondering why we use question tag. They are very helpful during conversations. The main reason to use them are: number 1, seek confirmation. Question tags help us confirm information or seek agreement from the person we are speaking to. It is like asking the listener, "Do you agree with me on this statement or not?" Number 2, engaging the listener. Question tags makes conversation more interactive. By converting the statements into a question, we increase the possibility of good conversations with other person. And number 3, check if the listener understood us or not. Question tags can be used to check if the listener has understood what we said. If we see someone nodding along with our statement, but we are not entirely sure if they really understood, then we can add a question tag to prompt them to confirm their understanding. Overall, question tags helps to make conversations more interactive, confirm information, seek agreement, and encourage the listener to participate. Now that we understood what are question tags and why are they used, let's learn how to form a question tag. A question tag is formed with the help of an auxiliary verb, a pronoun, and a question mark at the end. So the structure is of an auxiliary verb plus pronoun plus question mark. We will break this structure into a 6-step formula so that it becomes easy for you to form a question tag. Let's start with step number 1. Identify the subject. First, identify the subject and its form. That is, whether it's in first person, second person, or third person. Also, whether it is in singular form or plural form. Step 2. Finalize the pronoun. Next, finalize the pronoun with respect to the subject and its form. You can take the help of below table. If the subject is in first person singular form, then the pronoun is I. And if it is in plural form, then it is we. If the subject is in second person, then the pronoun is you, irrespective of it being a singular or plural. And if the subject is in third person singular form, then the pronoun will be either he, she, or it. And if it is in plural form, then it will be they. After finalizing the pronoun, it's time to focus on getting the auxiliary verb. So let's move to step 3. Number 3, get the auxiliary verb. If an auxiliary verb is already present, then you can pick the auxiliary verb in the below preference. Number 1, if modal auxiliary verb and main auxiliary verb are present, then pick the modal auxiliary verb. Example, I could have done. Then here, pick could. Number 2, if only main auxiliary verb is present, then pick the main auxiliary verb. Example, I am doing work. Pick here am. If the auxiliary verb is not present, then move to step 4. Else, you can skip the step 4 as we already have the auxiliary verb with us. Step 4, analyze. Here, you need to analyze the main verb and accordingly find the auxiliary verb. As mentioned in step 3, if you already got the auxiliary verb, then please skip this step. If you didn't get the auxiliary verb, then check the main verb. If the main verb is in present tense, the auxiliary verb will be do for the plural subject and does for the singular subject. If the main verb is in past tense, the auxiliary verb will be did. If the main verb is in form of be, the auxiliary verb will also be in form of be. So this is step 4. Now comes step 5. Modify. Modify the auxiliary verb if the sentence is in positive form. If the sentence is positive, add contracted form of the auxiliary verb. You can use the below data to get the contracted form of the auxiliary verb. Some of these examples could be am not is aren't, is not is isn't, are not is aren't, was not is wasn't, and so on. Here you need to remember two contractions clearly. Number 1, am plus not is equals to aren't and not amn't. Number 2, shall plus not is equals to shan't and not shall not. Rest all contractions are easy to remember. So this is all about contraction, and this will come into picture if the sentence is in positive form. But if the sentence is in negative form, don't change the auxiliary verb. Let's move to the last step now. Step 6. Arrange. Arrange the auxiliary verb and pronoun in this way. Auxiliary verb plus pronoun plus question mark. So this is a 6-step formula to form a question tag. Number 1. Identify the subject and its form. Number 2. Finalize the pronoun. Number 3. Get the auxiliary verb if already present in the sentence. Number 4. Analyze the main verb and accordingly get the auxiliary verb if the auxiliary verb is not present. Number 5. Modify the auxiliary verb if the sentence is in positive form. And number 6. Arrange the auxiliary verb and pronoun in proper structure. Now let's understand the steps with an example. Reyansh is dancing on the floor. Step 1. Identify the subject and its form. Here, Reyansh is the subject and it is in the third person singular form. Number 2. Finalize the pronoun. As the subject is in third person singular form, the pronoun will be he. Number 3. Get the auxiliary verb if already present in the sentence. Here, auxiliary verb is already present, so we have taken is. Number 4. Analyze the main verb and accordingly get the auxiliary verb if the auxiliary verb is not present. We will skip this step as we already got the auxiliary verb in step 3. Number 5. Modify the auxiliary verb if the sentence is in positive form. Here, the sentence Reyansh is dancing on the floor is in positive form. So, we will use the contracted form of is, which is isn't. Number 6. Arrange the auxiliary verb and pronoun in proper structure. So, the question tag is isn't he. So, you can follow the steps in a sequential way and get the question tag. Please note, for the next examples, I won't be repeating the steps again due to time constraint. Let's look into some more examples now. Ankita could have danced on the floor. Here we have two auxiliary verbs, could and have. But as explained in step 3, we will choose could as the helping verb because it is the modal auxiliary verb. Following the steps, the question tag will be couldn't she? Number 3. I go to the gym every day. Here the auxiliary verb is not present. So as per step 4, we will form the auxiliary verb. The auxiliary verb for the main verb go is do, as go is in present tense. And the final question tag will be don't I? Let's look into next example. I am happy today. Here auxiliary verb is not present. So as per step 4, we will form the auxiliary verb. The auxiliary verb for the main verb am will also be am. And as it is a positive sentence, the contracted form of am not will be aren't. Note, it is aren't and not amn't. And the question tag will be aren't I? Let's look into next example. Barking dogs seldom bite. Here, we might think that the sentence is positive. But because of the word seldom, the sentence is in negative form. So, the question tag is do they and not don't they. Some of these negative words are hardly, scarcely, badly, rarely, neither, seldom, little, few, nobody, none, and nothing. Let's look into next example. Let's help together. Here, the word let has come. So generally, we will be using the question tag shall we. So remember, whenever a sentence starts with let's, generally we will use shall we and we won't be following our steps. Through these examples, I hope you would have got a good understanding of how to create a question tag. Now, let me give you an exercise for practice. Create the question tags for below sentences. Number 1. Reyansh is playing football today. Number 2. Chhavi smiles with her heart. Number 3. Aashita rarely goes for exercise. Pause the video, solve the exercise and message the answers in the comment. I am waiting for your reply. I hope you would have given the correct answers. To know the correct answers, please check the description of the video. I will give heart to whoever has written the answers in the comment. That's all in this video. Let's quickly revise what we learned in this video. First, we learned what is a question tag. A question tag is a grammatical structure used to turn a statement into a question. It adds a short phrase at the end of the statement to get a response from the listener. Then we learned why we use question tags. The main reason to use them are: number 1, seeking confirmation; number 2, engaging the listener; and number 3, checking to understand if the listener understood or not. Next, we learned the 6-step formula to create a question tag. The steps are: number 1, identify the subject and its form; number 2, finalize the pronoun; number 3, get the auxiliary verb if already present in the sentence; number 4, analyze the main verb and accordingly get the auxiliary verb if auxiliary verb is not present; number 5, modify auxiliary verb if the sentence is in positive form; and number 6, arrange the auxiliary verb and pronoun in proper structure. We learned these steps with examples. Finally, I gave you an exercise to practice whose answers you will be giving me in the comment. Please note, you must have knowledge of singular and plural nouns, pronoun, main verb and auxiliary verb, and subject verb agreement to solve question tag related problems. I have dedicated videos on each of them. Links are in the description. Please watch them in sequence. That concludes everything in this video. Thanks a lot for watching. Please like, share, comment and subscribe in case you found the video helpful. All the best for your upcoming exams. We will meet in the next video. Till then, goodbye.